That's right. Yeah, I think it's on now.
There you go. Gotcha.
Yeah, how you doing? You okay?
I'm doing all right, thanks. I'm glad that we finally got together. I'm not sure what happened, but we're here now. So
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm here. I'm chilling. I'm ready. I've got my English cup of tea.
there you go. So is that like
Nice and warm.
ask? Is that like a thing to do? Is have tea at nighttime in the UK? What's the deal with that?
It's not really a thing like going out to have tea. Really, it's usually a daytime thing. But at night time, to be honest, I just been brought up, having a brew at night and stuff like that. It's just enjoyable.
There's a lot of people I know that like to have like coffee at nighttime, and I can't do it.
No, no saying. No, it's a morning drink in it when you're knackered and you got work or something. Just a little kick.
But I gotta ask, how are things in? I want to say you're still outside Manchester, correct?
Yeah, pretty much inside Manchester, to be honest. Salford, it's like Greater Manchester, but literally next to the city centre.
Yeah, because I know that you do train at one MMA, and then you're at. I'm trying to think. I know you're at
Yeah, next gen.
yeah next gen. So, what's the commute kind of like traveling all the way to Liverpool?
It's about an hour drive. It's not too bad, to be honest. It's just literally one straight road. But takes about 50 minutes to get there. It's not too bad, to be honest. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's quite a nice drive, so it's quite easy to do. And then obviously you go into next gen, you're getting the tough rounds, you're getting the top training. So it's definitely worth the hour drive, worth a 5 hour drive.
Yeah, and I mean, like after having such a tough training, a training day, is it like having the drive to go home? Is that kind of give you that time to break down everything and kind of just relax before you get home?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I usually go with like one of the lads, Jay, or one of the other lads, and we'll take fruit pots, have a fruit pot drive home, and then we'll just talk about the rounds, like what was good, what was bad, and then just educate on the way home. Chill.
Excellent. Now, as far as I know, you don't have a fight booked or anything, from what I've seen. So how have you been spending the most of your summer?
To be honest, it's been tough trying to get a fight. I've just been training, been staying in the gym. Literally, my life's been training for the past 2 years, like just training at home, training with my mates, and then obviously when all the gyms open back up, started getting back in there every day. But yeah, you feel like you've been held back for 2 years, in your career because we've been locked up for all this time, and it's frustrating because I had 6 fights in 18 months. So I could have been 6 fights better off now, if the lockdown never happened. So that's the frustrating side. But the other side is I've been able to level up and level up and level up whilst being in the gym all this time. But you've just not got to see it on the competition stage, where you usually get to see your strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, it must be tough. I mean, still being an amateur, the fact that, it's hard enough sometimes getting pro fights and then trying to get those amateur fights, it just must be tough.
Yeah, it is. To be honest, it's okay until you start, until you get like 4 or 5 wins. Like there's loads of fights out there if you like 1-0, 2-0, or 2-1, 3-1. But when you start getting to 4 and 5 wins, it just starts drying up, like the fight opportunities. So that's the problem with the UK scene. But the amateur scene in the UK at the minute is on a boom. Like there's loads of top talent coming through, and even on the pro scene. So you'll probably see that, in the future, in the next few years, some of the kids coming through are crazy. How good they are, and they're not even 16. So some of the kids in the gym are giving all the pros tough spars already. So it shows you just how far MMA has come in the UK in the last like 5, 10 years.
100%. And that's one of the things I talked with a couple of UK fighters. I've been actually doing a lot of interviews with a lot of UK fighters at the moment. I mean, Matthew Bonner, I just talked to him a couple week and a half ago.
Yeah, give that a watch.
In talking with a lot of these guys, they all kind of talked about the same thing. There's kind of like this reemergence of UK or I guess British MMA fighters. And like I think like after like guys like Michael Bisping, guys like that have retired and kind of led the torch and held the torch. It's kind of time for the new generation to come in and take that torch.
Yeah, definitely. I think there was like a little bit of a cut-off point from Bisbee and to now, where there wasn't really many UK fighters like breaking into the top 10 of the UFC and stuff like that. But now I think in the next 10 years, there's going to be loads. You've got Paddy. I think he'll take the UFC by storm. Like, I think he'll rip the head off it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you still got Molly to come back yet and, make a stake for that title. And then Bonner will end up there if he carries on the way he is. Like, he's an inspiration. Like the way he's gone about everything he's done. He's fought all tough guys. He's done amazing. So I'd love to see him in the UFC as well.
Excellent. And, like I know that, you probably try to stay on weight as much as you can. You're trying to stay in shape as much as you can. But, it being the summer, what is your beer of choice? What's your drink of choice?
Drink gin. Yeah, I like a gin. Yeah,
Not
just low calories in it. So yeah, it's good. But I don't like drinking. Yeah, when I was younger, I went to Ibiza and Magaluf and all like the Spanish party islands. But I've sort of done it now, and I want to concentrate on the fighting. So going out on a Saturday, coming inspiring on a Monday hungover just isn't for me, anymore. So yeah, that life's been left behind.
So you're just doing just straight gin? Is that how? Oh,
No, we do it with like lemonade.
okay, fair enough.
I like a tonic water.
Mm-hmm. But like,
Yeah.
like when it comes to training and like before you have fights, with your obviously you got to watch yourself. You want to take care of yourself as much as you can. Like, do they recommend things that you should drink and what you shouldn't drink, or is it just common sense as an athlete?
Yeah, you pick stuff up naturally, off the people around you because they're talking about fight camps and stuff, especially when you're like starting off. So they're all getting ready for fights, and you're listening and learning off them. And when you start fighting, you always look at the main guys in the gym, don't you? And you look up to them a little bit. So you end up learning a lot off them because you sort of starstruck a little bit. And that's the best thing I feel is about MMA. Whereas when you start MMA, what's different to other sports is you're immediately getting trained by a professional. Whereas over here, like soccer, you're trained by amateur coaches. In other sports, you're trained by amateur coaches. But with MMA, you're trained initially like by a professional fighter that's, already got loads of experience in that area.
Excellent. And you're still quite young in the sport. What is it that got you into MMA? And can you talk to a little bit about your nickname?
Yeah. So what got me into MMA was basically I seen Paddy when I was on holiday watching a fight, and that's the first fight that got me into it. Watching Paddy on Cage Warriors, I just fancied it straight away after that point. And then obviously McGregor when he was starting off. I'm not going to lie, I thought I loved watching the full thing. It was class when he just went through the UFC, went for the featherweight title, went for the lightweight title. It was just like a movie when it was fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
and what was the other question? Sorry.
And the
Oh,
nickname.
the nickname. Do you know what? It actually come from the previous podcast that I went on, and the guy actually, suggested it, and it just ended up sticking. So they say you never pick your own nickname, don't they? So, just if it sticks, it sticks.
Awesome. And I know that you're still currently an amateur, but is there like any pressure or is there any I guess is there any pressure or anything that kind of that comes on you when you're thinking about transitioning to the pro scene?
Not really. It's more of I'm looking forward to it. Like I feel like I should have already been fighting pro by now, but
Mhm.
with the lockdown, it's been paused. So my mindset's a little bit set on the pro, but I've actually got a fight confirmed for 3.5 weeks time on the 28th, but that's on FCC full contact contender, and that's in Bolton. So I'll be fighting on that. That recently got confirmed, and then I found out about a fight tonight. I'm supposed to be fighting one of my teammates, Jay. He beat up one of Jake Cadley's teammates on Anarchy Fight Series at the weekend, and I only found out tonight because Jake actually messaged me tonight asking me to accept the fight at the Pusser. But so I'm meant to be fighting this Josh Abru or something on Golden Ticket Fight Promotion in about 10 weeks, I think, as well.
Mm-hmm. And in looking at your career, or with your amateur career so far, with your fourth fight, I mean, you finally got that finish. Was that kind of like a weight lifted off your shoulder by any means?
No, I wasn't. It wasn't something I was looking for, to be honest. My coach Mengot, he was saying to me all the way through the amateurs, like, listen, this is about learning. Like, when we get to the pros, it's business. But at this moment in time, it's about lessons. Like, you need to pick things up. You need to fight different styles, different bodies, and it's more about enjoying it, and like, because you don't train like 5, 6 times a week to then, feel stressed or come fight night. You go to enjoy it, and especially the amateurs, like, and then. Yeah, so it's more about enjoyment of the amateurs and learning as many or ironing out as many mistakes as you can before you make that transition to the professional division.
Well, and it's kind of crazy because there's some fighters that come out and they have one or two amateur fights and they go right to pro. And I think that
Yeah,
a lot of self-determination and confidence to be able to just go right from that to the pro scene.
yeah, definitely. I think you see a lot of heavier guys doing that more than the lighter guys, though. In the heavyweight division, you always see them with like a really low amateur record. But one thing you have noticed since, say, the last 10 years is the amateurs now are fighting a lot more than they used to, and while sticking around in the amateurs before they go to the pros. I've noticed that. So I think there has been like a coach mindset in the UK change towards the amateur division. But I think it's a lot tougher now than it used to be. There's a lot more competition. So people don't have to transition as early.
Awesome. And like that being said, like, and then obviously you had your first loss. What did you like take that more as a learning experience and versus just a loss on your record?
Yeah, well, at the time, I wasn't really sure what I wanted out of the sport. I was enjoying it. I was on a roll. I was fighting all the time. I was just enjoying every second. I wasn't nervous. I was just thinking, yeah, this is fun. I like it. I get to train every day. I get to fight all the time. And that loss made me realize I actually love it because I'd never lost a fight until that point. So losing the fight, it does gives you like a sense of, wow, I actually do love the sport. I do want to be part of it. Um, and it makes you just work harder the next fight. It's just a lesson to every amateur. If you lose, it's just a lesson.
Absolutely. I think it's too part of it, and this is just as a spectator, but I feel like it really helps a fighter realize is it something that they want to do because it's easier just to win every fight. And when you lose, it's so much harder to come back and to win a fight. So it really brings a fighter to that point where do they want to continue to do this? I mean, it's hard to take a really bad loss, or it's hard to just
Yeah,
such a streak and then lose a fight. It's harder to come back than it is to just keep winning. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah, after that loss, I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. Like, this didn't deter me. I felt like it was a good thing. You've just got to take the positives from every bad situation in MMA. There's going to be plenty. There's going to be times when you can't control what's happening. So just enjoy the ride. Every MMA fight, if you're not enjoying it, then there's no point in doing it.
awesome. Now your last fight was in the Cage Warriors organization. Granted, it was amateur, but what was your feeling being able to win the fight and the fact that, having a win under a Cage Warriors, is that something that opens up opportunities in the future when you do go pro?
Yeah, 100%. It's just good to get your foot in the door, isn't it? Like, and at the time, I had a terrible camp. Missus was in hospital. I just had loads of stuff going on in my personal life, and to be able to get the win, it was like a massive sense of relief. Like, yeah, because just the build up was terrible. So this is why I'm proper excited now for the next fight because I've had a good build up. I'm feeling good. The personal life is straight. My missus is okay now, so I just can't wait to go into the fight without pressure of personal life on me.
That's good. That's good to hear everything's going well in your personal life. Now, that being said, I watched the fight and I watched right from the beginning, and you came out very with a lot of pressure. Was that something that you decided? Was that part of the game plan?
Yeah, that's part of the game plan. I wanted to start fast. Yeah, the coach was telling me just before I walked out, saying, right, I want a quick start. I want him to know if like he's in a fight. But I did have my mind on my gas tank because I've not been training as much. So I had to come out fast, try and get him shook, try and stuff his work, which is what I kind of did in the first round. Ended up winning the round. And then it was pretty much the same plan until the third round. The second round was, I just wanted to see what he was going to come out with. But if he was going to try and step forward, I was going to take him down and, tire him out just because I wasn't fit. But he didn't put too much pressure on, I was expecting more because he's small. The smaller they are, the fitter they are. They're just faster, more nimble, harder to keep hold of. And so I did expect a little bit more just because of like his resume. Like I think he's a really good fighter and he's done well in the past. And but the third round, I found that tough just because I was gassed. The plan was to get the first 2 rounds, win the first 2 rounds, and then take him down for the third, control him and win the fight. And that was just basically just because of the personal life drama. So, but other than that, I would have gone in to take him out.
Excellent. Now, I just want your thoughts. Obviously the Cage Warriors, they got a chance to bring the show over to San Diego. Did you get a chance to watch those fights at all?
Yeah, I've not watched them all. I've watched highlights, but wow, it looked amazing. Yeah, I can't wait till he starts taking the UK lot to Cage Warriors in San Diego. Class.
Would you like to see a lot of those American fighters or a lot of non UK fighters come over to the UK and really bring the sport back to you, the fighters
Yeah.
to?
Yeah, there's a massive support in the UK now for MMA. Like MMA beats boxing now over here. There just seems to be a bigger interest in it. If the Americans come over, it'd be amazing. It'd just be great to compete against the top gyms in the UK and the top gyms in America, and bring them on these shows, like get them on Cage Warriors, get them on Bellator, get them all competing, on regional shows. Get a proper, American versus UK. So then, when you get to the UK, you are the top dog.
Fair enough. No, I would assume that you had a chance to see Kyle Stewart first round TKO.
Yeah.
Looking at that guy, and obviously you've had a chance to train with Matt Bonner, him being the middleweight champion. Have you seen a little bit of the back and forth banter going on between them?
Yeah, Matt's the meme king, Yeah, he's funny. I've seen it, but I don't even think it's a fight to make. I think Matt deserves better than him. No offense to Carl, I hope he does well, but Matt's just is an inspiration in Cage Warriors at the minute. He's come from the dirt. He's risen. He's beat everybody. He deserves that. He deserves that other belt. And I think he's a higher level than Carl.
Do you feel like there should be that rematch with the former champ? What do you think?
If he doesn't get the, it's hard because he finished him. Yeah, it's hard because he finished it. I wouldn't. It shouldn't really be going to him. If Matt wants the welterweight belt?
Welterweight belt.
If he wants that belt, I reckon they should give him a crack at it, because then, like Matt said, let 2 of the middleweight guys fight, get a contender out of that, and then Matt can go back up to that division and fight them, and then it's all plain sailing.
I think that's probably the right thing to do at the moment. If you're looking at promotion, I think that with Ian Gary being signed with the UFC, Matt Bonner, he's on a bit of a streak. He just won the belt. I think him, at least putting him in the mix, and then some guy, someone who at welterweight that's a little bit on a tear as well. I think, I know Ian Gary had been a couple of guys get through the tournament, but I think that there's definitely some guys up there, maybe even giving, I'm trying to think of his name. He's from Four Corners Gym, Jack Grant. I think maybe he could get another shot at it, possibly.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I think that'd be the logical way to do it, but I don't know. They might fight him against Carl. It's had a little bit of heat around it, hasn't it? So you never know. And I don't think Matt turned down fighting in San Diego. So when that is allowed, no one's going to refuse to go over to the States. So
Yeah,
That might be the fight.
and I think if you look at a lot of promotions, sometimes they don't always make the fights that make the most sense. They make the fights that will sell, and that's the
Yeah,
difference.
definitely. Yeah, definitely. I think because they tell a fight, because Carl chats a bit of shit, don't he? And then Matt comes back with his cool and calm, collected meme and just fucks him up. So I think, the fight will sell itself, especially when people start cottoning on some Matt's memes. So yeah, I think that might be the way it might go.
Excellent, excellent. And talking about you here again, how quickly do you want to get back in there? I mean, it sounds like you're ready to go.
Yeah. Well, I'm in fight camp now, so I've got 3 weeks and 3 days or something to go.
So you are
So yeah, I'm in fight camp now. Yeah, so fighting at 60 kg catch weight. Um, I don't have anything to do with my fights. My coach matches every single fight, and I just get told to be ready for a certain date, and that is it. So I'm matched at 60 kg. I don't know why, but it's up to the coach. And then after that, I think I'm matched at 57 in say 10 weeks time. So yeah, get a couple of wins and then hopefully turn professional.
perfect. And when you do go to professional, I mean, would it just be awesome if you got that signing right with Cage Warriors?
Oh yeah, well I want big names from the off. I don't want no. I want big names. Yeah, I want to go in and just cause shit. Been waiting long enough, and I want to enjoy my Emmys now. I want to focus on these, get through these because you can't look past them. But once we get to the pros, I wouldn't mind, taking a few big guys on and seeing where we're at. I feel ready for it. Doing well in the sparring, doing well in the classes, staying fit. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And I was not aware of your fight that just got announced. But that being said, you being in camp now, any plans for the weekend? Or are you just gonna be training?
Yeah, I'll be training Saturday, rest Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. So Sunday will just be I usually go for a walk. I'm not really good at resting. I for some reason my body doesn't like resting, so I do an active like rest day. I'll go for a walk, take the dogs out, and then go on like a 10-mile walk or something. Come home, maybe have a Sunday dinner, maybe the last one until the fight. And do you know what a Sunday dinner is?
No, what is it?
So it's like a roast dinner. So we have like chicken, beef, potatoes, broccoli, spinach, whatever. Yeah,
Very good.
yeah. So we have that on a Sunday in the UK.
Yeah, I think Sundays are a little bit different in Canada, or I would say more in the US. But yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there.
But Sheldon, it's a pleasure having you on here. I appreciate you taking the time to do this interview with me, and good luck with your upcoming fight. And hopefully, we'll see you in the pro scene this soon.
Yeah. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it, mate.